Good evening, everybody, and welcome to exclusive interviews as in Papers Television Network production. I'm your host, Itai, and we are here, as usual, at Jam Tree. Thank you so much for our drinks, Jam Tree. And tonight we feature a guest known on the streets as the King of Heartbreaks. He rose to stardom when he sang a song called Juicy. I know some of you have guessed who I'm talking about. Kudakwashe Chapepa, also known as Chaps. Hi, Chaps.
I'm good. How are you, Itai?
I'm good. Welcome to exclusive interviews.
Thank you so much. It's such an honor.
Okay. Ichiripere perfume yandikakupe ndikakutengere. Ndikunzokunhuhwirira. Aisisiriyo.
Ndinoda kutokutengerawo yako yobva Vanita. At least I need to buy someone something.
You need to buy someone something. Okay, people, you are going to find out why we call him the King of Heartbreaks much later on. But he's a musician. So first of all, let's talk about your music journey. When did you find out that you are talented musically?
It's been a minute. It's been a whole minute. So I started music. Singing, I started, I think, when I was in grade 7, around 12, around 11. What happened was my mom passed when I was in grade 7. So I felt like music for me was just writing that situation down was a way of me healing and trying to just find myself again. So that's when I wrote my first song for my mom. And ever since, I've been writing songs that are connected to me somewhere, somehow.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how it all began. And then I went into the studio when I was 18. That's when I got into the studio for the first time. Because Pampesa, I was afraid.
And why you know that
I had written a whole lot of things.
I can
So
imagine.
when I went to Tanga Pasho,
Yeah.
I remember I was talking to a brother of mine, Anon Students, and I was like, I need to go to the studio. And the guy was looking at me funny. He thought I was doing. He thought it was a joke.
Yeah.
So he said, "Oh, we don't know this stuff. It's allowed. Just go in." And then I ended up at the studio. We did the first song. Me and my producer, the one I'm still working with.
Yeah.
We did the first song, and to my surprise, everyone was telling me how good I was and how much I should make.
And what
music
was that
for.
first song?
Not the type young.
Okay.
I don't even know where is that record at this point. But yeah, it's there somewhere.
Okay, let's talk about when people then started talking about you, when you went viral with the Juicy song. Did you expect it to go viral, and like what had inspired that song?
When we did Juicy, we never expected it to blow as much as it did. I remember we had released our very first album. So I say we because it's always team effort. So we released our first project September 25. It's titled Vanga. So that was 2020. So going into 2021, we felt like Vanga was solid enough to blow.
Okay.
And to our surprise, the project didn't go as far as we expected it to. So coming into 2021, we actually sort of gave up on music for a while.
Okay.
Like we were partying each and every day, not even weekends.
Yeah.
Every day
Just-
at the studio.
and you felt like
We felt like
failed,
we
you know?
failed. What else can we do?
Yeah.
And Tatango Chila Chungeta Chugita. And then towards the end of January, that's when we sat down. Like me and my producer, we sat down. We cannot continue doing this.
Yeah.
And in Inyo on the side, I was writing a whole lot of songs. So I wrote my song Heartbroken under that time because I got off a very disturbing relationship.
Okay.
So I was writing a lot of heartbreak songs because Munanga can't block. So I just wanted something to,
Yeah.
try and heal, and I was hoping that I would record, upload the songs on YouTube. She had subscribed to my channel. She would eventually find out
Oh, yeah.
the stuff. That was the whole idea.
Yeah.
And Juice was the first song we recorded. My song is Heartbreak.
Yeah.
I recorded Juicy, and
Did she literally forget her jersey?
Well,
Oh,
that's a whole different story.
yeah.
That's a whole
Okay.
different.
She left something else that's not a jersey.
Wow.
Okay. And then?
So I recorded Juicy to get a clip. So the whole idea behind Juicy when we released it, for me personally, it was to connect and talk to that person.
Yeah.
And on a more musical perspective, it was for us to just to actually deliver something to our fans.
Yeah.
So we released the song Chingo Tama. This is our first step. That's it.
Shazo,
Number
yeah.
10 that she was the whole idea was to actually release each and every week. We released the song and everything just changed in a matter of hours.
Yeah.
Everyone caught on the wave and the song. Sheesh.
It was amazing.
Yeah,
But
the
then
rest is history.
it's funny how Juicy was, everywhere and everyone was singing it, but it didn't make it in the top 50 hit songs. How did you feel about that?
I'll be honest.
Yeah.
At first, I was a little bit hurt. So
How?
now, as an artist,
Yeah.
as much as I might try to hide with I won't be affected and stuff. At the end of the day, recognition means a lot to each and every artist. That's like your kid coming home, item number 1 in
Yeah.
school, and you're like, okay, that's fine. But ukam show appreciation. I think that's how most people work hard. But for me, it's different. At least I was here at that time, but then it made me, you know what? I need to work extra hard.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm Sanda Shika, so
Yeah.
I need to keep going because the whole journey hasn't been top 50. It's
Yeah.
way beyond top
Yeah,
50.
yeah,
It's the
yeah.
Grammys. So
True.
this can never stop us. So keep going.
But it's very fascinating how you've got fans that are, always behind your back. Ndakaona pawallpaper vakanyora kuti azviite zvakaitika kuti ishaigenzi iyoyo. And you even had DJ stuff or tweets that you're just what the industry needed. How did you feel about that?
That was so inspiring.
Yeah.
Because people like DJ Staff, I can put in Palistema legends as Z Music. He's contributed a lot. He's done so much for the Z music industry, and for that person to come through and tell me, you know what? He didn't even tell me. He just tagged me on Twitter, and
Yeah.
I saw the tweet. And this is what the industry needed. We put this work because we want to change the game. We want to make it more than it is right now. So we need to be dominating Africa. We need to be aiming for Grammys. That's how much we need to, So when people like DJ Staff will approve, okay, so this is the right direction, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
All right, so this is the end of the first segment. In the next segment, we are going to be talking about your latest giving.
Okay.
Yeah, so do stay tuned and join us after this. Welcome back, everyone. If you're just joining us, you're watching exclusive interviews. And tonight we have Chaps on the seat. Now, I was talking about you and your latest giving, Gehenna. I watched the video. It was absolutely amazing. And the girl on the video, I mean, she's beautiful and her acting skills were on point. Tell us about the latest song.
Gehenna is another song based on true events. And yeah. So what happened with Gena was I I wrote the song because right now I'm working on my second album. So Gena is part of the project. That's the very first single. I wrote the song um, after an incident that
Yeah.
really sort of disturbed me mentally. So I was so heartbroken. I went home, and now I know my strength. But okay, if I'm at this state mentally, this is how I should channel my energy. And I wrote the song. I went on to record it. My producer was excited. He was like, "Ah, we need to shoot the video for this song. Mangwana chechaenda kutomikisa nechitoma chitopera togara nakuisa song." And then we delayed a bit because we also had other projects at Aida. We delayed. And then eventually we did the visuals. So for my visuals, I told Rain was the first person that came to my mind because Rain is a very good friend of mine. She's the model in the video.
Yeah.
And Rain is a director. She's a fashion model. So I just felt like she was the perfect person for this song. She said, yes, let's do it. And shooting the video, I don't want to lie, that was the toughest video I've ever made.
Really?
Because there is a wedding scene. So we needed people for that wedding
Oh,
scene.
yeah.
And we sort of got into my challenges I had to go because of transport issues, and then
It's never
when
easy.
people themselves are not willing to cooperate.
Yeah.
So it was extremely difficult. Zekuti, when we were done with the video, everyone was relieved with
We're done.
they should
Finally.
something should really come out of this song because
Yeah.
the effort and energy we had to put in was,
No, that was an amazing video. So it was
Thank
all
you so
worth
much.
it at the end.
it was well.
Yeah, but you seem to be inspired from your life events, and I'm just, sensing the whole kuti unenge uri Adele wechirumere. Unoramba uri inspired by life events, just heartbreaks all over. Do you even have good moments in your relationship?
I do, like, for someone to hate someone, they have to love them first. So I feel like for me personally, that's exactly what happens.
Yeah.
Sometimes I get into relationships looking forward to a lifetime,
Yeah.
looking forward to me being happy with that person, but then life
But
happens.
why do you have to wait for life to happen? Why don't you sing about the good moments that you have when
I
you
do.
start?
I do have songs about the good moments. I released Impilo in December because I was in a
I
happy
think
moment.
what really cuts deep is the
The
heartbreak
heartbreak
so
songs,
people
because people don't expect me to go deep.
Yeah.
Sometimes I even go deep when it comes to love songs.
yeah.
It's more like Impilo. I went in deeper. People could not receive it as much as they were supposed to because they
Yeah.
felt like, nah,
No, with
it's
no
too
Chaps
soon.
and,
He can't be in love.
heartbreaks,
No.
He can't be in love. I know.
Yeah.
And talking about that song Impilo, I watched the video and wow, the cinematography was just out of this world.
Thank you.
The acting, everything. Like who did all that?
For Impilo, all I did was come up with a concept. This is the idea I have. And then I spoke to Lighty, the director of the video. And Lighty was like, say no more. I just need my budget. I have everything under control.
Wow.
So he came up with everything, my props, everything we needed for the set, the location, and we went on. We camped for 3 days for that video to be done successfully.
That
3
was
days.
beautiful. Have you ever considered acting? Because my acting video, it was so believable.
I think I should get into acting at some point.
You should.
For now, I just enjoy it when it's music related because I feel like I'm expressing emotion and I'm in some studio. It's now just being taken by my visuals. So yeah.
Yeah, there are people that actually say Chaps is so underrated. I was going through some of your videos and on YouTube, some of the comments were like, guys, we don't really know the gem that we have. Do you feel the same?
Yeah, and for me personally, I feel appreciated, and I feel honored to see those comments. But also, people feel this way about me. But personally, the point has always been to prove a point kwandiri first. Like I know for starters, I'm capable. I keep talking about Grammys because I feel like that's what I'm capable of getting. And I always see Zimbabwe as foundation
Platform for bigger
for
things.
bigger things.
Yeah.
So reading those comments, Juneza could talk about, okay, so it's not only me who feels this way.
Yeah,
People
yeah.
appreciate and they actually see bigger things in me.
Yeah.
And it means a lot.
You seem to live like a low-key life. I haven't heard any, stories about you, any funny stories. But
Yeah.
I've noticed that the media industry in Zimbabwe, you need to be linked to something controversial for you to, really skyrocket and get everyone talking about you. Do you feel like maybe that also contributes to Mskanzo wabomshoma ukaita more Mskanza, then we're going to be like, okay, Chaps, and we're going to be linking you to something. Do you think this whole low-key life that you live is affecting your stardom?
Not at all. In personally, it always comes back to where you're coming from, your background. Not background as in how you have lived your life, but background as in who were you listening to, who are your role models, and what were they doing to be where they are.
Yeah.
So I know you are living in a digital era whereby you have to be present even if you're doing the wrong things. People just want to see you there. But sometimes forced energy is not always the way to go. I can't always force myself to be mukandona ndiri ndapa controversy. Best believe that item is real. Because I'm not about to beef na someone fake for me to be there, for me to hype myself up. No, I can go silent for a while. Like I've been silent for a while and then I always release a song and it makes sense at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So it always comes back to that. My principles are on the up as a person because I'm not about to fake anything to make it. At least not now. It works, yeah, but for now I feel like I'm good enough to be where I'm trying to be whilst being the realest person in the game.
And let's talk about you winning Male Artist of the Year at the African Social Entertainment Awards.
Yeah.
And then when you posted, you mentioned that there are hurdles that you've been through. What are some of the hurdles that you faced in the industry?
The industry yatiri, the country yatiri, there's so many challenges. It's not only about music, it's about a whole lot of things. As Zimbabweans, we are generally just going through a lot. And that contributes to how we move as artists and how we move as creatives. And the first thing that's going to come up is the finances.
Yeah.
It's very difficult because sometimes we have ideas, sometimes we have dreams, but it's very difficult to execute because we always need financial backing. And when you are coming up and no one is believing in you but only your team, you can only do so much.
Yeah.
So I've been through that phase, still there a bit.
But what do you feel needs to be done?
What I feel is people should, not people only, but as artists, the least we can do is entertain but being supportive to each other. Because I understand at some point we need to be controversial, at some point we need to beef, at some point we need to do certain things for the hype. That's what the internet needs to see. And it's both. But in real life, what are we doing to push each other, to help each other grow? And that's where I feel like as Zimbabwean artists, we lack hip hop. It's very hard to push near the next artist.
Yes,
it's difficult.
True.
That's why you see Nigeria always wins.
Yes,
because
they support each other.
Fireboy is coming from Olamide. Wizkid is coming from who's this guy? From Marvin's Records, Don Jazzy. And you have your Job Boy coming from Mr. Easy. there's always a link between those people. So even the corporate side will easily jump in because I understand how you
Yeah.
guys are moving.
All right.
Yeah.
There you have it. More support amongst the artists is needed to push music, the music industry. That's all we had for you on the second segment. Join us after this. Welcome to the third and final segment of exclusive interviews. I'm your host, Itai, and tonight we have Chaps. Chaps, continuing with our interview. I'm just wondering, if you were not a singer, what would you be?
Psychologist.
Why?
Love to focus on the human mind.
Really?
See what you love and see what you hate. To tangle up.
Okay, and then what are some of the things that people don't know about you? I've got one particular thing that I found out in 2017. Can you tell us about that? I'm sure a lot of people don't know about that incident.
Yeah, so before all this, I used to do my 9 to 5s. So I was doing my 9 to 5. I was a satellite dish installer. So one day I came from work at around 6, but I got my short day, so it got dark pretty quick. So coming from work, I wanted to take a shortcut. So I was actually walking from home because I was working nearby. So I took a shortcut and yeah, I got mugged and robbed and stabbed. So I almost lost my life that time, but thank God I survived. I managed to make it home. Then I was rushed to the hospital. I stayed there for 3 days because it wasn't that deep. And yeah, that was the whole item.
Oh, that was really a sad event there. But let me get into what people really want to know. Why is Chaps always, having heartbreaks? I think you all need some relationship. Why are you always having heartbreaks?
Well, maybe what I'm looking for is not what I always find in people.
Yeah.
Or maybe in the problem. We never know. There are always two sides to every story. I'm waiting for them to tell us their own side.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess I'm just broken, and it's always a chain.
Yeah.
From this relationship, we break, we're moving on to the next one.
Yeah, but it's normal life. You gotta kiss a few frogs
But sometimes,
before you find your prince. Right?
Do you know with the first person when I can actually define
the rest of all the relationships.
What your other relationships are going to look like.
Because if you're still damaged, then you move into the next relationship with that. But are you in a relationship right now as you speak?
Hapana kwenda again.
Huh?
Hapana kwenda again. That's all I can say. Alright. But the album is coming. I'll let you know in the album if I'm taken or not.
Really? Okay. Let me move on to social media and read some of the questions that we have from our followers on ZTN. King21 WJ says, why Achi Garage took my baby?
Yeah.
Why?
Alright. Here's an honest, very clear answer.
Yeah.
I've never dated a guy before.
Yeah.
So I'm not beef in our room.
That.
I have beef with the people I've dated and the people who've broken my heart.
Okay, let's move on to the next one. That Aquarius Queen says, this is not a question, but he needs to go to therapy.
The booth is my therapy.
Yeah.
The booth is my therapy.
Okay, and Tawana Nyasha Kafura says, how many heartbreaks has he had? Because those songs, what a...
I'm a lover. I try my best to be there for people. I try to give my all in every relationship.
Yeah.
And I guess that's my weakness. That's why I always get heartbroken. Because if I come into a relationship,
you're all
best
in.
believe, and cheated, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
And cheated, and I expect you to do the same. So, but as a good person, I'm going into the booth and I'm recording. So.
And Tafanzo MK1 says, can you please name the girls that actually broke your heart? Woo, that's exclusive. With Pomazita.
2, 3. Pana Itai. Pana Fadzi. The Chora which street?
Which street? Where did you say Itai?
And Anyara, huh?
Oh,
yeah, we never know.
And somebody says, is it safe to call him the male version of Adele? I actually say that because his hits are influenced by heartbreaks. I guess.
Itai na Fads.
I'm not in the one who was saying in the mix, but yeah. And if you were to give advice to your younger self, what would it be?
The minute you realize that you're good at something, and the minute you realize that this is what you love, give your all to that. That's what I would have taught myself. That's what I would tell my younger self, was I really regret not doing music as soon as I needed to do it. So yeah.
And since it's a Wednesday, let's just have you tell us who your WCW is. One Crush Wednesday.
Right now I'm crushing on Daisy.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see. And before you go, what are you working on right now?
I'm currently working on my very second album. My second album. And it's almost done. So right now it's just final touches to it, and Guyana is the very first single of the project. So yeah, that's what I'm working on.
Who have you worked with? Like, what are you working with? Like, give us something.
So there's always going to be DJ Futronics. That's my day one producer. We have a very strong relationship. And there's DJ Tamuka.
Ah, nice.
There's King Chief, the guy behind Guyana. And there's Kana Boy. He's my homeboy as well. So yeah. And artist-wise, there's T Gonzi, there's Nati O, there's Evil from Nigeria. So yeah, those are the people I can confirm for now.
Oh, nice. Thank you so much for coming through to Exclusive Interviews.
Thank you so much.
Really had a nice time. That's all we had for you on Exclusive Interviews. To enjoy more of our programming, please go to our social media pages, Zim Papers TV Network on Facebook and YouTube to see more of our interviews. But I'm not going to let him go without him singing one of my favorite songs. You know the she wants you, yeah.
Dennis Taragwe.
You just we sound next album. So maybe if you can sing that song as we go out.
Okay. Endapa kadzikadzika onyatsopaterera apafe pakurasisa kurema nekugwadza kwazvo uchamiramira here uchindisimbisa wongu ndakambofarawo sevamwe ndati ndikuudze ndiri ndega vachati uri kuitei naye chimwe changu usazondireka zvakaipa nezvakanaka pandotadza pandinonatsa handisi kukumanikidza nono hanti wakandisarura iwe kana wafunga kuda inini nipe pindidene mawanga wafunga kutora moyo wangu chiva watora ne mawanga gara watora zese tora zese ukenda kugena.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much to Jam Tree also for giving us this very beautiful place for exclusive interviews. Good night.